bro, I am 2 days into my cycle and I'm not feeling anything. Is this normal? Is my gear bunk? I'm gonna cover this topic because it comes up so often and I think it needs a little bit of clearance. So I think a lot of you overestimate the power of the actual drugs. Like, what do you think you're expecting to feel? Like, bro, that's like, test is not cocaine, you know? You're not supposed to feel it. Like, it's not something you feel. It's not something physical. It's a hormone that you naturally produce in your body, and by supplementing more, you're just increasing the levels. What that does is it's going to increase your nitrogen balance, it's going to help you recover faster, use glycogen better, and therefore allow you to build muscle at a faster rate. That's all it is. It's nothing like, it's not going to make it like, I don't know, I think some of you just think it's like you're just taking this magic potion that just makes you like mentally strong, mentally massive without having to train or do anything. That's it, basically all it is. You're just supplementing extra of what you're already producing. And also, how long does it take for those effects to actually build up? Well, on the first cycle, which is what most people are referring to when they ask why they're not feeling it, they would find that you don't really start getting any effects until maybe week 5, I want to say. And what those effects would be is you're going to probably start seeing your skin go a little bit oilier. That's probably one of the effects that the thing is working. Like the snappiness, I think that's a placebo thing. Like, it's just an excuse to be an asshole. So I think people, I don't think that happens. I don't think that's a real thing. Another effect, obviously, if you're getting gyno, water retention is one, because you can never, if you're taking 500 milligrams of testosterone, you will get some water retention, especially if you're not taking an AI. But for the most part, that's about it. You're not going to see some crazy effects. Now, if you start messing with the highly androgenic substances like trenbolone and such, then yeah, maybe. But even at that, man, it's not huge. It's not like you're going to be, I don't know, this crazy monster. Like, it doesn't work like that. It's not a stimulant, all right? I think you're mistaking hormones for stimulants. A hormone doesn't work like that. Now, I want to explain how, why it basically takes so long for you to actually start noticing those effects. So let's say you start on a testosterone for a first cycle, all right? Testosterone, you take the hormone in. How many days does testosterone ester how long's the half-life? Okay, so if you say it's a 7-day half-life, roughly, it means that if you inject 500 mg today, in 7 days' time, you're going to have 250. So for you to even actually feel anything, for it to actually have any levels higher than your naturals, it means that it will take at least 2 to 3 weeks for it to even build up to higher levels. Therefore, you can't expect after 2 days to actually feel something. So, like I keep saying, it's not something that you feel. It's not a stim. It's not a stim. It's not a nervous system stimulant. It doesn't work on your nervous system, which is a point that I always keep making when people start talking about recovery. Yeah, but the gear's recovering me. No, you're giving too much credit to the drugs, because taking 500 milligrams of testosterone, yes, the muscles may recover, but your central nervous system is still your central nervous system. So you can't expect something crazy. I think people give too much credit to the drugs. Like, sure, they do their thing. Like, I'm not going to deny that, all right? They give you an advantage, and a big one. But to mistake it with, some magic potion that you think is going to turn you into a superhuman within 2 days of taking it, doesn't work like that, bro. You need to be taking it for years and years and years, and you're still probably not going to be like massive unless your genetics allow for that. And if they do, then you probably already look questionable when you're natural. I was actually making a video about that, why I think some people, you know, that say they're natural, they probably are, because the fact of the matter is they already look questionable in their first or second year of training. So when they do jump on, unlike the ones with the average or over, like, I want to say that I have a just above average genetics, like I'm in the 60%. Those guys that are in the 80%, you know, those guys just, they already look questionable by the time they're like a year into training. So when they get on, they get absolutely massive. And then you've got the 90, 95%, and then you've got the Phil Heaths and all these guys that are in the 99%. But yeah, like for someone with average genetics, don't expect huge, anything huge, especially if you're one of those guys that, because I have a lot of clients that come up to me, they're like, bro, I need you to coach me, this is my cycle, this is that. And I say to them, okay, well, what is your lifts? And they're like, well, I can deadlift 120 kilos, like 275 pounds. I can squat maybe 225 for like 2 to 3 reps. And I'm like, bro, come on, I was squatting like 375. I was deadlifting like 500 pounds, benching 300 pounds just before I even got on cycle. Come on, bro, you need to build that base first. Like, why would you waste the drugs to get you to that base level when you can easily get there without it? So it just boggles my mind. But anyway, guys, that's basically all I wanted to cover. It's not something you're supposed to feel. You don't feel it. Like, as I said, you might get a little bit of a oilier skin. Maybe if you're prone to like acne, you might get a couple of pimples, stuff like that. But for the most part, it's nothing that you're gonna feel mentally, unless you convince yourself that you do. If you convince yourself that this thing is doing, like, it's making you crazy, it probably will. A lot of that stuff is psychological. You know, if you convince yourself that you got a headache, you probably will get a headache. That's basically how it works. But basically, guys, I got asked a couple of times, how come I haven't been on YouTube for quite some time? And that is because I'm actually just about to launch something else, a new project, an entire new project, which is basically my way of giving back and giving you guys back what I had to take away from you. Because all the content that I made originally, a lot of it, maybe 80% of it, had to go because YouTube would not tolerate such content. They would deem that inappropriate, which is obviously completely ridiculous, but it is what it is. And so what can we do? Well, the only thing that we can do is move on to a different platform. So that's what's happening, guys. Be on the lookout for that. I'm going to be making a video on what that's going to involve, how that's going to work. But for now, do let me know. I mean, I might, because I obviously have been quite busy with having the new setup made, so that I can launch that as, you know, as early as possible for you guys. But as I say, if you want any more topics covered for the time being, do let me know. But anyway, guys, I hope that's been informative. I hope you've basically, like, I hope you've learned something, and I'll talk to you next time.